Is this relationship worth me putting in this effort? Is this the right relationship that I am in? We assume that the fault is from the outside, but no. Just imagine our relationships to be like that of a garden, right? Have you been to a garden? Feels so good when you sit there and you see these lovely roses, the lovely flowers, the lovely enchanting smell that we get from these flowers, the fresh grass, and us walking on this fresh grass, right? But there would also be some part of the garden which is unkept properly, which requires your time and attention, and you would see a lot of unwanted stuff growing there, the weeds, the thorns, the so on and so forth, and you won't like walking in that area, right? Similarly, in our relationships, there has to be time and attention being given there. You have to nurture certain relationships. At certain times, it might be that the people whom we love are not really at their best behavior in front of us. It could be that their words sometimes hurt. It could be that you would have actually gone out of your way several times to do things for them, but that has gone unnoticed. That has got not acknowledged. And what you do there, it hurts, right? And when it hurts once, it's okay. When it hurts again, then it starts to actually take a different turn in your life. And then when it hurts again, and that's when you start questioning yourself. Is this the right relationship that I am in? What am I getting out of it? Remember, when such questions start coming in your head, it's time for you to understand that your garden requires some attention. Your flowers are dying. There is a lot of dryness. It requires some amount of watering, right? So how do you do that? So it's easy for me to talk to you about a garden. And it's easy for you to understand that as well. And watering a plant is not a brainer. But how do you water your relationship for it to bloom once again? So, for that, my dear, you have to take a slight detour. The detour meaning an internal journey. You have to start to look from within yourself. So how do we bring this change? As I always say, you pick up a paper and a pen and make your list. Identify the times when you have said things that you really needn't have said, right? One tick done. Again, at certain times, you would have behaved in a way that you needn't have had to. Another tick done. At certain times, you might have expected a little too much from your spouse or from your partner or your friend, who maybe you have expected far too much than the capacity of the other person, right? Your third tick, your compliance list has to get deeper every day, because remember, if you are feeling questioned about your relationship, if you are finding it challenging for you to continue being in it, so the question is arising inside you, obviously the solution has to also come out from inside you. In fact, it is right there. Let us together get to the solution. First are your troubleshooters, the cause of the troubleshooter. Identify that. What has made it be like this? How has it become like this? It was not like that from day one, right? Your first day of your relationship was amazing, hunky-dory. It was so good. Both of you were at your best, weren't you? And then what happened? Expectations started creeping in. Am I right? Expectations started creeping in. And then when the expectations are not met, and the expectations can be really subtle, darling, really subtle. Maybe he's forgotten your birthday. Maybe he's forgotten the day you guys met. If you're married, maybe he's forgotten your anniversary. But instead of making that such a big thing, what you can do, make that moment, that day celebrative. You remembered, right? So you go ahead and do what you need to do to make that day more memorable. So it's about understanding the cause of the problem. Once you have understood the cause of the problem, see how you could rectify it by going within again. Identify the problem, go within again to see how you can rectify. Now, here is a small shift, and the shift is 99.9%. We identify the problem from being from the opposite person, from being from your spouse. And that seems very normal and natural, doesn't it? Yeah, I told you, very normal and natural. But this is again the second detour. The second detour where a slight mental shift is required. That most of the time, the most unassuming thing is what is assumed. We assume that the fault is from the outside, but no. The fault, if you want to call it a fault, but I'm talking about a correction scenario, a cause correction scenario. So the cause sometimes is me, myself, you, yourself, we, ourselves. It goes in from within, right? So once you have identified the problem in the relationship, where it may seem that the expectation is from outside, but it normally isn't. It is from inside. See how you can sort that out. See how you can create a match within your mental state and the state of the other person, right? Work around that. Second, see what you can add value to your relationship. What value add can you give? If there is something that you didn't like in the relationship, do not repeat it. Do not do the same thing, right? And more and above, last but not the least, what is really, really important, ask yourself this question. Is this relationship worth me putting in this effort? And if it is, then please, please make this effort. Do it and learn from it. Put in your 100%, like I said, my dear. Learn from it, whether it takes you forward in life or it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It has anyway given you the gift of love. You have experienced it. You've enjoyed being in this relationship. So remember, once again, like we enjoy our lovely garden and we even feel the presence of God by looking at the different colors of the leaves and the flowers, and we thoroughly enjoy the freshness. Similarly, if you would like your garden to be always fresh and clean and there for you, you will have to enhance and add beauty to your relationship. Every single day, work on it. Just like you need to work on your garden, work on it while working with yourself. It is hand in glove. It goes on in your life parallelly, my dear, parallelly, right? And remember always, I'm always there for you. You can come back to me anytime and I will help you, come what may. Love you. Take care. Have a great life.